Hello, welcome to Krachtwerke. A quick demo of the EQ7 by EC. Not so sure what this company name is. The t-cub series pedals. I'll put the stuff in the description. So I just thought I needed a graphic equalizer. I wanted to get something very small to put on the board just in case I need it, and I have put it in this case right at the end of the signal chain. So this is the tone we're talking about. Now, there was a reason I bought this one and not a Boss or anything else. It wasn't just about the price, although this was fairly cheap. It had more to do with it. I don't like where the frequencies that are choosable, usually on the equalizer pedals for guitars. For guitar, it always feels as if the EQ range, you know, the frequency range that you can manipulate, are better actually on a bass pedal, because usually what you want to do with a graphic equalizer, you want to punch some mids, you want to drop the really low end, and you might want to either boost or completely cut the high end, you know, kind of like 10k upwards. And so the bass pedals seem to be, the way that they're marked out seems to be more useful to that. So I couldn't find a guitar pedal, and I didn't want to get a bass graphic equalizer. So this one seemed to be pretty cool, because if you look at the frequency ranges, 63, so that's the really low end that you don't need on guitar. You can scoop that out if you've got some flubber. The 120 is a good marker as well. That's where the kind of body of it lies. The 200, the 250 is one that if you got that kind of like bass build up when you're muting, you can use the 250 to drop that a little. It would have probably been better if it was around at the 200 mark. 250 is not bad. And then you've got the obvious ones, which is the 1000, the 500, the 1000, 250, 5k. So to me, the increments here seem to be more useful than most guitar graphic equalizer pedals. I can drop the really low end, the 50 hertz, to roughly about 80. With this one, I can boost the 125 a little bit to get a bit of body without flubber. I can drop the 250 to get rid of the bass build-up on the mutings. And I can play with the mid-range quite a bit. So I don't actually use it. I think what happens with graphic equalizer pedals is that there's no really need to use it unless you need to use it. So you might be in a situation, a live gig or something, you've got some awful tones coming out, maybe too much bass happening or something on their rigs, and you can, you know, start sculpting a little bit. So, and that's really why I bought this, is in case I need it. So just to give you an idea of how it goes, so this is the main tone. So what I'll do is I'll put on the distortion, and we'll put this on. Now I've got a little bit going here. What also nice is that although it's such a small and seemingly flimsy thing, it feels quite solid, and you've got a definite click when you get to zero, when you get to unity. So when I try and put it back to middle, there is an absolute click. So I know when I'm back at unity, which a lot of the others don't have as well. So here's an idea. One thing I have noticed that it does seem that the frequencies overlap quite a bit. So if I drop my 60 hertz, I think there's quite a curve developing. Let's boost the high end. Now I'm sure that in the documentation it says exactly how many decibels each frequency gets dropped or gained. But it seems to be fairly flexible and usable. Let's do the nasally 500. A little bit of Metallica. So this is not really what I use it for. I'm not gonna sit and try and sculpt tone with it, although as you can hear it's fairly possible. You can scoop mids, you can, you know, boost mids, you can do all sorts of things, but to me graphic equalizer pedals are usually there to fix stuff rather than try and sculpt something. Anyway, that's my feeling. So very useful pedal, a good price. It does work and it's got no noise. It's true bypass. I bought the Behringer one and I've got a video about that. It was a bloody joke because there's actually noise inside the signal both on and off. This one has no additional noise. It is completely quiet. In fact, there is no difference between if they're all properly fixed on 0. And I think that kind of speaks a lot for the pedal, that there is not this additional weirdness in it. So, great pedal, quick overview, demo, and I like it. It's cheap, why not? There you go. Thank you very much.